This is Outchasers. This is a two-player card game battling mechs and pilots. It's really cool. So to begin the game, you're going to want to choose one of the 6 mechs available and one of the 6 pilots available. Each one are going to have their own unique ability, so it's going to be really fun mixing and matching strategies and abilities. So just because of the top 2 cards, I'll be using Vey and DM25, which is the mech I used last night when I went to play the game. So although this is a 2-player game, I'm just going to show you the example of how to play with just one player. So deal out 5 of the core cards between you and the player. To win the game, you pretty much have to do one of 2 things. You have to either collect all the cores or defeat your opponent mech. Shuffle up your equipment cards and deal out 8 to each player. Reason being, the first 4, or I guess you can choose them, will be placed down as a location slot for your mech's equipment when you're equipping equipment cards to your mech. There are a couple of different cards as well. Besides the equipment cards, there's going to be our charge cards. They're what you use to use abilities, or if you want to use like additional cards, attacks, or if you want to buy cores or buy your pilot special. So on your turn, you're going to look at your hand, draw a card. You'll have quantum cards, which are going to be the green cards. You'll have the tectonic cards, which are blue, and the incendiary cards, which are red. Now keep in mind, each player is going to have 24 cards out of this deck. So on your turn, you'll either attack with a card. Now to attack, it's called a strike, and that means that your card's going to be face up, and it's going to use the strike number on this side. However, if you want to equip it to your mech, you turn it over. Now you have an attack and a defense. Now the defense will protect your mech when your opponent's attacking you. They also may have some flavor text. That can be an ability of some sort, or it could hinder your player in a way, depending on how powerful the card is. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin my turn by just playing down a card. And I know that my DM25 will gain a charge every time he uses a strike quantum card. So I'm going to save my quantum card for a strike ability. But I do want to get some defense going, so I'm going to use my incendiary rupture cannon. Problem with this card is when I do deal damage with it, it will do 2 damage to my character, but I am looking at 6 damage every time I use it, which is really great. So I'm going to skip attacking this round. Reason being, if you skip attacking or skip playing a card in one turn, you get a charge. And I want to start collecting some charge just in case I want to start collecting cores for special passive abilities, or if I just want to maybe use my pilot's ability, or if I want to play another card down or attack twice, something special. I want to make sure I have some reserve in order to do so. So my player goes, whatever, I go again. What I'm going to do is actually play the quantum card as a strike this time. And I'm not going to play a card down. Forgot to draw. So this strike does 3 damage. So I just play it. I put it in my discard. It does 3 damage to my opponent. Now I get a strike, I get a charge for using the strike quantum. Because I did a strike, I don't get to get a charge from here. So player goes again. Now it's my turn. I draw. And it looks like I'm getting really close to being able to buy my first core. So what I'm going to do is just play another card down just to build up my defense, and instead of building it on a separate slot, I'm actually going to put these 2 together and link them. When you link 2 cards together, you get to add all their abilities together. So now I can attack with an 8 and I can defend with a 6. So if my opponent were to attack me with a damage of 4, he'd have to break through my defense first. And the way that works is you have to attack the first card. So since he's attacking with the 4, unfortunately he doesn't get through my defense, which is pretty awesome. There are cards and equipment cards that allow you to attack through the defense, or you can attack the defense and the mech, and so forth. Pretty much you're doing this until either the mech dies or you've collected all the cores. But what I've noticed is most of the time you're playing until the mech's dead, because once one core is purchased, you can't really play for that win anymore. It's a really great high interaction type of card game. I mean, you are continuously attacking your opponent because it's a battling card game. It makes sense. The learning curve is not too high. However, there are a lot of components to the game that I don't think will be easy for younger younger players or players who don't play games too often. What I've noticed with two-player games is they do add a lot of components that are a little tough on novice players. Especially with the linking of cards and the way cards attack, having it one side or the other side. A lot of people who haven't played board games before have or are familiar with playing Monopoly or Clue or whatever, where cards are just one face. So two faces might be a little tough for them. My favorite design, I really enjoy the idea. I mean, I gotta say the art design is so crisp. It's really nice to look at. But I love being able to customize your pilot and mech duo. I think it's really cool. It adds a lot to the game. There's a lot of replayability because when you use different types of characters, while the game's still going to be pretty much the same, you're looking for a new strategy because each pilot is different and each mech is different. That variable in characters makes it so that you are always having a slightly different twist to the game, to the experience. I want to say it's like a 30-minute game. This is about a 30-minute card game. I do think there's a lot of value to the price because there's so much to it. And although it is the same game back and forth, it's a game that you can play more than once. It is styled in a way where there's a lot of opportunity for different turn of events. I mean, with all the different types of equipment cards and the combinations of your characters, there's always a new experience from what I've noticed. I do wish that there was a little more balance on some of the pilots and mechs. There's a lot of the pilots in here that I feel like are, and mechs that are really overpowered versus some of the other pilots and mechs that may make it seem as if you already know who the winner is right when the game begins. So it is currently on Kickstarter. I think it's a couple days in, so if you are interested, go ahead and head over and check it out. It comes with an awesome little reference card that I was using to tell you about the game. Yeah. Outchasers.